Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. Here we are going to understand the messaging modes of your WebLogic cluster. There are two different web messaging modes in terms of your WebLogic cluster, the unicasting and multicasting. We are not going to use multicasting. Why? Because it requires special IP address privileges and a lot of setup over here, and there's not much functionality in multicasting when compared with unicasting. Unicasting by default it is called one-to-one, but it is not the case in terms of WebLogic. WebLogic has a unicasting for one-to-many as well, just like multicasting. The special feature of a multicasting is that it uses UDP rather than TCP. It requires additional configurations to route TTL while cluster across multiple subnets. It requires configuration of multicast listener address and IP address. So we may need a specific network interface on a machine with multiple NIC cards. So that's kind of an extra overhead, but here doesn't require any of those things. Each message is delivered directly, delivered to and received directly from the network. So this goes like n-1, like that. I will explain you. So these are some of the requirements, and you can see that it uses the same heartbeat messages over here as well. Cluster membership changes is required in terms of 3 consecutive missed heartbeat messaging. So here it basically missed heartbeat means it will remove the member from the cluster. And this is the URL. You can actually find this document from Oracle. Let's just try to understand more on the unicasting one, because that's the one which we are going to use, and that is what is used in most of the companies. So when you have a cluster like this, a small cluster, the first member will be mostly declared as the master or the group leader. Now what happens is like all the other members will be actually reporting every 15 seconds, actually every 10 seconds, with a buffer of 5 more seconds, but not exceeding 15 seconds. It needs to report to the master or the group leader, okay, in the cluster. Now it is normal that the first server which is added to the cluster is being taken as a master. That is for sure. That's a random selection, and it happens automatically, and it happens randomly as well. But normally it is the first server which becomes like a group leader. So every other server within that group should be reporting within 10 to 15 seconds. The group leader also goes back and communicate to those managed servers saying that it is alive itself. When the group leader goes offline or something, the next server will become the group leader until the other previous group leader comes online. That's very simple, right? Now, what if you are a larger group? Like, for example, you have like, 20 cluster members. In that situation, for every 10, I couldn't accommodate 10 of the JVMs in one drawing. So that's why I've written 10 over here. Every 10, 10 members in the larger group of a cluster, one will be declared as the master, the first one, obviously. So which means that the first JVM which is added to the cluster will become the master for the next 9 JVMs, which is 10. Then the 11th JVM which is added to the cluster will become another master. And then the 12th will be another 21st will be the other master, likewise. So the reason having different multiple master is that as we have more number of cluster members, it is pretty hard for one master to keep track of all the managed service heartbeat requests. So what happens is like this internally becomes a section of a cluster in which all these, JVMs will connect with the master or the group leader and communicates the heartbeat message. And then this particular server, the group leader, will communicate back saying that it itself is working fine. In this way, communication works between the group leader and the other servers within the cluster members. So this is what I wanted to talk to you about in terms of the messaging modes. There are 2 messaging modes. You will be actually selecting this when you are creating the cluster. On the next hands-on video, we will be looking more into these aspects as well as the load balancing, methodology and the failover or the types of clusters. How you select the cluster members depends on the type of cluster. Thank you again for watching this video. On the next video, we will do hands-on for this, and we will understand more about the hands-on in terms of creating cluster. If you have any questions, please leave it in the question section. Thank you again.